basically, Misshapen Share's video really inspired me about the whole topic, about, yeah, what actually is more important than actual tier placement, like, yeah, this actual gameplay placement. So what I think is super enjoyable to play, and like always, you can and will clear each and every form of content with every job out there. So this is super subjective. Take this with a grain of salt. I have played all of the jobs, but I haven't played all of them on the same level and with the same amount of time. So please take that into consideration. This is my personal opinion, and I'm basically rating them on my own experience, and you can do it completely in a different way. But just as a very brief overview for some newcomers, this may help you guys in starting a certain job, in getting into certain contents with other jobs more, or you have more enjoyment than with some jobs in particular. Okay, so starting with the Astrologian, which is actually a very tough starting point, I guess. I think I will decrease the music a bit. It could be a bit too loud, sorry. I think the Astrologian from gameplay enjoyment is in my opinion A, because it's not boring because of the complexity level, but all the complexity that it demands is also not super rewarding in my opinion. I always feel like you have so much clunkiness and so much complexity that it kind of feels you have to do so much more work to get to the same results as a white mage than the other white mage. So it still feels better than B, because B is boring kinda, and sometimes rotations are feeling a bit off, or you feel like, ah, damn, again, we have to do 10 pulls again, and I can't stand it. I always repeat the same thing. Yeah, every job repeats the same rotation when done optimally, but you hate doing that, and that's B for me. What do you guys think? Is that a wrong choice, or is A basically something we can look up to? Astrologian over white mage. I can't agree with that, Seals. I can't agree with that. Astrologian is cool and maybe the better low-level dungeon healer. I don't know. So those sacks are strange, can't switch in battle. When you could switch the sacks, Astrologian would be S tier for me. Okay, Black Mage. Actually, I would place it here. I know, the rotation is very stationary, but it's so rewarding when you get it done right. So as soon as you get Black Mage to a good spot and to a good level, I feel like the Black Mage is so rewarding and makes so much fun. I could argue with this, but it's not boring. I actually really like to play the Black Mage, even if I fail tremendously. It's still fun to play. It's still rewarding with all these big explosions, with switching back to ice, then regenerating your stuff and reapplying dots, and having so many utility things like the shield, like the ports, like everything. I actually like Black Mage. I think A would actually be a good compromise, but S tier is fine. It's so rewarding once you do the fights correctly. Top tier Black Mages learn all the mechanics to know exactly where to put their rock to stand there all the time. Okay. Yeah, according to this, I guess it could be A, because you basically learn it all completely, and you don't have so much flexibility. You basically try to be as stationary as possible and to be consistent with your rotation as possible, and have not so much RNG mechanics in the whole rotation. So I guess maybe we should think about this again, but A is okay. As for big damage, but leveling is a pain. Yeah, okay, you're right. Leveling is a pain with a Black Mage, so it definitely is not S. Yeah, okay, you're absolutely right. Leveling experience for a Black Mage is not the best, especially because the low-level Black Mage rotation is super boring. Yeah, I agree to 100%. Okay, I know this is a personal choice, and I know that many people hate the Bard, but I super enjoy the Bard. I love the dots. I love the 3 ballad sects, the Wondrous Minuet, Mage's Ballad, and how the unnecessary stance is called. I really like that. I actually do like the whole mechanic about snapshotting dots. That's so cool because you really have to track your cooldowns properly. You have to track your potion duration properly, and I do feel like Bard is really, really underrepresented and underappreciated. It's actually a very cool job, and each time I play the Bard, I fall in love with it. Honestly, I subjectively and objectively disdain the job. Astrologian is more fun than White Mage, almost snoozed in heaven on high. Okay. Black Mage leveling is fine with a Chocobo. Yeah, it's fine, but it's also not a great experience, right? So S rank is definitely be blocked by this leveling experience. I have a soft spot for Lala bars only. Lalas I tolerate. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think Bard it's personal. I like the Bard. Every time I play the Bard, I feel like it's a great job. It's a great design with its 3 stances. I like that. Dancer, on the other hand, I don't know if I would put this to B, but comparing this to Machinist and Bard, I guess it's an A job. It's cool. It's unique. The whole dancing steps, they are super yeah, revolutionary, and I really like the design of the dancer. I like that it's straightforward but also demanding. I don't know. I probably struggle to put anything to B. You can expect this tier list to be just 2 tiers. One that's awesome, one that's awesome, one that's specially awesome. Or super nice, super gorgeous. Substantially breathtaking. Yeah, I think A is okay. It's solidly created, solidly designed from the overall rotation, like the stabs and the supporting thing, which is unique. But I do think it's having too much RNG in it. Okay, some Dragoon love, right? Dragoon for me personally is this, because from all the melee jobs, even if I struggle to play with the Dragoon properly, I really like it. I really like the overall design of getting into the life of the blood stance. I feel it's more rewarding than the samurai is. Like, yeah, the aesthetics are just gorgeous. The gear you can get is just gorgeous. But you can definitely get this to A as well. I would say from all the melees that we have in-game right now, in my personal opinion, the Dragoon is a good choice. I like it. It's really not about the performance in-game, like any meta ranking. I actually do like the playstyle a lot. The only thing that could be a drawback, setback, is that the leveling experience is not the best. Leveling a Dragoon until level 50... it's really, really boring. So maybe that would be the only fall off here. Well, the Bard is definitely good. I like the Bard's leveling experience. You have, especially when doing open world content, having multiple dots is awesome. You just pull people by dotting them and enemies. I like that. If you want, I can make a Discord channel for people to share their own tier list to compare to yours. Yeah, absolutely. I think there will be more in the comment section on YouTube then. But yeah, absolutely. That's a good idea. And the lack of gap close is annoying. They all have hella long CDs. Dragoon would be your B tier. It's clunky sometimes, but I still like it. Okay, let's take it on A then. For me, it's too fun to play to go to this spot. But yeah, it's not S tier. You're right. The leveling experience may be a bit, yeah, distracting here. Okay, so what about the Gunbreaker? The Gunbreaker is definitely a good choice, and something we have to think about. I personally would say it's not B, because many people like the Gunbreaker. But in my opinion, it's not S. I always feel like the Dark Knight... Oh, why is Dark Knight in S already? I don't know. I feel like the Dark Knight is just much more fun to play. I just love the Blackest Night so much. And the overall MP mechanics and the design of how you spend MP and you can save MP to push out so much burst in one blink of an eye, I really love that. And the Gunbreaker, on the other hand, feels more rotational. I know that I'm not on the big wave, riding the big wave here, and I'm against the stream with this. But I think the Dark Knight is more fun than the Gunbreaker. But I have to agree, Dark Knight is more fun. I'm not a fan of Gunbreaker, it feels like DPS, not tank. And Gunbreaker has a solid combo and cycle. Paladin best tank, have you seen how shiny we are? Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, personal preference. Everybody has one, and that's a good thing. Dark Knight skills are all over the place. Blood gauge skills don't make any sense at all level-wise. The thing is, even if it's not designed very perfectly and being pushed to its limits and to perfect, refined class design, I feel like the Dark Knight still makes so much fun. Did you ever pull with a Dark Knight in a dungeon? Oh my god, that's so rewarding. You have the Blackest Knight blocking off all damage. You have Abyssal Drain keeping you safe, keeping you alive, healing you up like massively. And then you can save your gauge cost, your gauge energy to summon your Living Shadow and just push in so much AoE damage with MP pushed to maximum value, for example. I think that's the best thing you can do. Oh, this is a long song, right? Let's go for this. Yeah, the Gunbreaker is a great choice. I like it. I like the design of it, but in my opinion, it's standing behind the Dark Knight. Absolutely. The same goes for me with the Machinist. Machinist is my, I think, my third favorite job to play in general, overall, because I just like the overall, yeah, this heat blast mechanic a lot. This is just insanely nice. The whole, yeah, that you have reduced GCDs on this mechanic, that you spam in more GCDs there. The only thing that I would like to be reintroduced is that Wildfire would actually depend on your actual damage dealt. So you would have way more opportunities to throw in your biggest attacks there and not just spam your fast attacks. I would love to see Wildfire being reimagined, and then I would say it could be possibly the best job out there. Yeah, in my opinion, Machinist is awesome. I really like it. I know that many people think when you play Machinist for a longer period, like you actually proc with the Machinist and raid with the Machinist every day, it can get boring very quickly. So as the longer you play the Machinist, the more boring it gets. But when you switch to a Machinist from time to time, it's purely awesome. I really like it. And Sync Down is also super, super nice. It really flows there because you have so many mechanics unlocked already. I like it. I really like it. The Mog is kind of weird. I think it's not boring because it has so much that you have to do there, and you have to track all the positioners and stuff. So it's definitely not B, but it feels too clunky to be here. I still can't get into that job perfectly. It may be a bit too clunky for me. I don't know. Ninja is kind of the same thing. It's not as clunky as the Monk. But it's so stressful. Sometimes you really feel like, oh god, the fight starts. Damn, I need to check my rotation. I need to prepare this. I need to prepare that. I need to make sure that every little piece of combo is exactly on the spot that I want it to be. And I feel like being stressed out a lot, but when you get used to the ninja, it's actually rewarding. I feel like it could be the same thing like with the Black Mage. But yeah, sometimes I really feel melees are struggling with that. Melees are having the problem. They are super, super dependent on which job you're fighting them with. For example, like every time a boss is turning around, I go nuts. I go nuts because, yeah, I'm just not used to many bosses, and I'm not raiding constantly and frequently, and every time, I don't know. It scares me when boss or tanks are actually playing spin the boss when things are getting out of control. S super, A S, sometimes good, sometimes bad, and B bad. Yeah, that's actually a good description. I think these are still good jobs. All of these jobs on A, you can play them and have a lot of fun with them. These are just my go-to jobs, in my opinion. That's super opinionated. And you just use True North on those occasions. Yeah, I know, and Ninja is not so heavily affected by positionals like the others are, but it's still something you have to always think about, and you can't really let go. Yeah, I like to play the game and let go once I learned the job properly. And it may be just me in melee, the melee situation, because I'm so bad at playing a melee job, but I feel like it's always stressful, and I don't want to do something that is stressful for me in my free time, which is playing a game, right? Your burst window is very quick, but Ninja outside of burst is super simple. Yeah, maybe that's also a bad thing. The burst window is so stressful, while the off rotation is then again boring. So I don't know. It would be A. Come on, it's subjective. Once I would play this mainly, I think I would put it here. Yeah, I like I said, with Ninja, go ham or go home. You have to main the Ninja. You can't do this on a side job, in my opinion. Is anyone clipping this tier list? Yeah, I'm clipping this myself. So Ninja gives me heart palpitations. Yeah, exactly. I'm recording this myself for YouTube, of course. I actually wanted to do this on my own, but having some of your feedback is actually great. I think it's awesome. Because, yeah, I literally would have put Black Mage into S tier, and the leveling experience is just not making that possible. Leveling experience from Black Mage is a bit off. It's weird. Okay. The Paladin. How much I love the Paladin in all of its versatility. It's so boring. It's sometimes the rotation is just super, super boring. It's not as boring as I would put it here, because it's still making sense, and you still have your highs and lows, in my opinion. But comparing that to the Dark Knight, especially when pulling in dungeons, it feels so rotational, so structured. I feel like it's too structured. It's just too versatile to make a good amount of fun, in my opinion. I know it's S tier from all the versatility aspects and from being a strong job, but it's not so funny. And especially when you're looking into Savage content, when you have to rearrange your rotation every time the boss is not working in these very, very common scripted timelines, it goes nuts. I think then I don't like it. I do prefer the Dark Knight when it comes to gameplay, especially in dungeons, especially in open world content where you, as Paladin, you always have to put up your dot, the Goring Blade, or you directly have to use Requiescat and start in your, into your magical rotation. The only thing that would, in particular, would put into S tier is Confidior. Confidior is just awesome. Confidior is game changer. If they add something like Confidior in Endwalker, maybe on the defensive side of things, like something that you really have to use insanely nice, insanely fitting against enemy damage, against incoming damage, maybe then it would be S tier from the gameplay aspect. Because I feel like Paladin should actually have the Blackest Night, which it doesn't. And Sheltron just doesn't feel like the Blackest Night, not as near as impactful. I love using cover and intervene as off-tank to save healers. These aspects are cool, I like that, but they're so rare that you basically never use them. Once you use them, it's awesome. But yeah, sometimes I feel like it's lackluster. Paladin should get the lightest day. At an A+ tier. Yeah, shall we? Yeah, I would say that's my opinion here. Gunbreaker I personally would put it here, but I know that there are so many people that love the Gunbreaker, so I can't put it anywhere under the bottom position here. On the other hand, this is the easiest choice for me ever. I love the Red Mage. Oh my god. When they released the Red Mage, and I read about the Red Mage, I thought like, oh god, this is so boring. This will be so boring. How can this mechanic actually become meaningful or become fun to play? But it's, yeah, like you said, it's so smooth. It's so rewarding. Like the whole dual casting, whoever created the dual cast mechanic, whoever that did that deserves promotion. The dual cast mechanic is one of the best things in this game ever created. Like, that's a core mechanic you cannot beat, I guess. But there are other aspects, like the switch into the bursting melee rotation, which is also so rewarding and satisfying. And you also have to make good and wise decisions not to be destroyed by your enemy. And the mana pool management stuff, I really like that. So this is definitely a very, very solid S placement in my opinion. I love the Red Mage. It's awesome. Especially because it's so easy in my opinion. It has such a low skill floor. It provides so good rewards and it's so satisfying. Basically, the Samurai, I would actually put here. I know this may be an unpopular opinion, but it feels like being just exactly what is not happening on the Red Mage. It sometimes feels like too simple, but on the other hand, we have to admit it's clean. It's so clean. You can't argue with Samurai being a very straightforward beginner job for melee beginners, and it's actually so clean. It's so clean. I like it. But it's just not as cool as a Dragoon, right? Or as a Ninja. They are just more fun. Like, they all are fun. That's why we have an A+, an S rank, and Blue Mage tier. Animations are gorgeous. The style is awesome. The gear is awesome. But it's just not as cool, and I like the Dragoon more. You find it more fun than Dragoon so far before level 70. Yeah, the leveling experience is not that bad on Samurai. I think from leveling experiences, the Samurai would be here. Absolutely. But endgame, even if Tsubame Geshi is awesome, I feel like these are more complex, and I like that more, that these are more complex. I'm not even trolling when I say Red Mage gets fun when you get Ver-Race. It makes everything so much fun when you can recover from the total clusters that can sometimes happen in roulettes. Exactly. Exactly. Totally my opinion. Scholar is here for me. I don't need to describe that very, very intensively because I feel like the whole Scholar system is so clunky. I know Cole will disagree with me, and many others will do as well. But it just feels too clunky for me. It's the same with like the Monk, for example. I could compare this to the Monk. Both of these jobs, in my opinion, should be the first that they try to work on and try to get onto the same smoothness level like they did with nearly every other job. On Shadowbringers actually. I think the Scholar needs a rework, at least from gameplay aspects. It's still strong, but it's mainly designed to proactively deal with damage. Yeah, but it doesn't work out very well. I don't know. Just my opinion. You can absolutely disagree, and you can love the Scholar. I love when you love the Scholar and have a different opinion on that, because that's showing how versatile and how much versatility this game is offering. In my opinion, it feels super bad. The Summoner, I would say, in my opinion, it's here, but I guess it's clunky for others as well, in the same way the Scholar is, or in a close way than the Scholar is. Still, I would say due to Phoenix being introduced in Shadowbringers, this was a phenomenal decision. And Phoenix is, the Firebird trance is insanely nice. I would love this. But in my opinion, it's not an S tier, because many people are having problems with this summon. That I personally don't, because it's my main and I really like it. But I would say it's still designed better than the Scholar, in my opinion. Even if you have a lot of piano play on the opener, I would say it's around this spot here. Okay, so they fix ghosting and ping issue summon as S tier. Yeah, exactly. When they do something cool to Bahamut, like something, a really big cast, for example, I guess it's a perfect fit onto the S spot. Warrior, in my opinion, cannot get above a Paladin because of everything that happens outside of your inner release window. I know people really love the Warrior. There's so many Warrior fanboys out there. But the window outside of inner release is just really boring. I love that they have introduced the inner chaos mechanic for Shadowbringers, because that at least gave us something that we can do in between. But it's still... It just feels like you're waiting. You're waiting onto the big action, right? And yes, the big action is big action. And it's cool, but it's a bit too less RNG for me. So basically, playing a Warrior always gets you the same results. You have so less room for some crit luck or direct hit luck or anything like that, that it's really, really, really boring sometimes. I don't know. Warrior is as pushing Nascent is better than LB3. Nascent Flash, gorgeous ability. I love that Warrior has received so much self-heal. But I don't think it's anywhere close to a Dark Knight, in my opinion. Because of, yeah, just waiting for anything. I picked up Warrior as my first tank, but the lack of weaving is just so snoozy. Yeah, you have the most GCD-based rotation of all jobs out there. I don't know. The style is great. Fell Cleaves are great. Healing up with Nascent Flash is great. But apart from that, it's snoozing sometimes. Okay, so we sure want some healers in S, right? And you know I'm a very, very big White Mage fanboy. And I would argue that the White Mage deserves the S spot in the same way that the Red Mage deserves it, because it's just super simple, but also super rewarding. The Lily mechanics are gorgeous. I love that. I love that you have free casts that are automatically generated by fighting, and you get access to a high DPS mechanic that really feels like a final climax to your rotation, and also very nice AoE bomb that you generate by healing. Oh my god, you get rewards for healing, actually. And that's how healers should be designed like. Getting rewarded through healing, for healing, and not getting so heavy penalties for healing. So basically you could spam heals as healer, but as White Mage you get taught that it's bad, because you get free heals that reward you with more damage. So basically White Mage is the best teacher of the healer, of the healing role, and super rewarding, and basically very, very simple. And that's my conclusion, guys. You can disagree with everything here. You can agree with sometimes. Blue Mage is its own. I actually like it. So far as I have seen the job that is played, I just don't like to collect my spells through other forms of content. That's not my cup of tea. But yeah, that's basically my tier list. Check out our Discord server to disagree with that. When this is going to be uploaded onto YouTube, does still have more value than a meta placement tier list, because we can clear every form of content with every job except Blue Mage. But how much fun you will have on that job is, even when it's my subjective opinion, is more important, right?